Hi guys, this is the Kaleidoscope DIY kit making video. Long since I've been thinking to make this video, and some of you have been waiting, but here we are. Finally, this is happening. The final Kaleidoscope consists of three parts. Here I can show that. So this is the mirror tube. We will assemble three mirrors in this configuration, and then this is the lid, top lid. It will go here, and then this is the bottom lid. It will go here. Three simple parts. It shouldn't take much time, and it's quite easy as well. And there are some customizations with respect to what you see inside the kaleidoscope. There is even shine light to see different visuals based on the customizations that you do, and it's quite beautiful. Especially even if actually if you just close the whole thing down like this, and then when it is dark inside and you shine light, it looks very beautiful, right? So this is the kit. When we open the kit, we have all these parts. This is the outer cover. It can come in various colors. This is the purple one, and we have other colors as well. We have this glossy matte glossy blue, and maroon, and this shiny blue color. uh, Three mirrors and parts like this is the foam we will use to make the stick to the pre-cut acrylic sheets to make the lids, and then this we will I'll tell you about this later. And then we have these beads to try out after we assemble the kaleidoscope. Okay, so the first step is to mark the sheet. So I'll be choosing, so you have seen the blue one, so I'll choose maroon for just sake of having it a different shade. So we basically want to uh, get the sheet attached to this in such a way that each one will have a edge of slight edge on three sides and a bigger one on the fourth side of the adhesive sheet, so that we'll keep putting one by one the three of them together, one side by side to the bigger adhesive edge, and then we'll roll it together to form the mirror tube. So for that we just need to so I place it like this. I'll place it like this and then move it a little bit more, and then draw a line here, and then the next one I'll place it like this, so that it will be easier to just make the markings, that's all, and it will reduce our work. So we got the two parts, and then this third part will be by default, and we don't need to worry about it much. Then we'll cut the pieces. You can use the scissors if you want to. So now basically we will stick it to this like this, so that we'll have three edges small and one edge big. uh, so before sticking comes the customization. The customization is actually we'll make some scratches at the back of this mirror, so that when we shine a light here, it will come to this side inside when the kaleidoscope is assembled, and it will get reflected and form pattern of lights. We can use a compass and we can just scratch it, or use these push pins also to scratch it. Or so this is a glass cutting chart. It has a very sharp tip, and it is used to cut glass. It's called scoring. So we can put some pressure and we can make some patterns, and so I'll just make some straight lines. Straight lines will also look very good. It basically forms a football kind of hexagonal structures. So I have made this straight line. I've sketched this straight line here, Let's see if the light is passing through well enough. If you don't have any torch light, you can just use a mobile phone torch as well. Like so, this torch I'll put it here, and you can see light passing through it. Right. So we can form different kinds of patterns. This is a straight line. I'll make some more straight lines. It will give a hexagonal grid kind of a structure. Okay, and then I'll make my any alphabet. Let's say I'll make an S. So you have to do it multiple times so that it will get scratched well deep enough for the light to pass through it. So I made an S. It's a bad looking S. So let's see. So see, this is the S I made. It doesn't look very polished, but it works. So that is fine. And then let's say I'll use the compass and make some curves. Here. Like a smaller curve. In the workshops I have done, people have done they have experimented a lot with this, the customizations. Like they have made flower, some have made something like a Van Gogh Starry Night kind of patterns. It was beautiful to see. So some people went crazy. They have made the whole surface scratchy kind of look, but still it looks good. I'll make a star here. Yeah, so this looks good. The light is passing through well. This is the curve. Okay, these are all. So we can make different patterns on all the three surfaces, and on after we form the kaleidoscope like this, and on whichever surface we shine the light, that will come through this inside in here. So let me just show you quickly how, see, the light is passing through this, right? And you can see some kind of a hexagon kind of pattern. Of course it's blurry because the protective layer is still there on the mirror. Okay, so I'll just make on this one surface, but you can feel free and make different patterns on different surfaces. So moving on to the next step, now I have to stick this sheet to this mirror at the back, okay, of the mirror. So the best way for me, so some people do it like some people have the practice of putting a screen guard to the phone, and they do it. I'll show that one with the next piece. So how I do is I'll just stick a little small part. I remove the whole adhesive, place it flat, and then stick a small part to the mirror, and then rotate it, and then stick it like this, so that there won't be any air bubbles. We have this bigger part on this side, and all the remaining three parts are small. So we will do this for all the three mirrors. Put it aside safely. So third one is slightly bigger. I'll try to cut the remaining material. We'll use the remaining material for something else later, I will tell you. So this is kind of like a wastage, so I'm just cutting it beforehand, and so that we'll use it for something else later. Basically it's for the smaller lid. We can wrap it around to make it look good and match the whole kaleidoscope. We have stuck here red color, so if I shine the light, you can see red color coming through. And see, because the surface is this is a thick layer, so the amount of light now coming out is very less. So you can use a a stronger torch if you have, like this one, and then that will look better. Okay. Yeah. So if you want different colors of light coming through, then you have to stick different colors of sheets, not just the one that I provide. You can use whatever sheets you have at home, but just stick them in this configuration. And then now the next step is trimming the edges of this on the three sides. The smaller edges we can trim. We should trim them and just leave the bigger one. Two sides is over, the third side. Okay. And then also make these edges a little curved or little towards the inside, so that when we stick it, if this is like this, then there will be some hanging edges here and here. uh, the edges will be hanging again. We'll have to trim them off like this. So make sure you cut this like this, and then we can stick it well. I'll show how it will look like if we leave this like this. So I'm leaving this edge like this instead of cutting it in this way. So please make sure you get all three mirrors, the flap on either right side or left side depending on your comfort, but I would say get it on the right side. That will be easier to work with, but left side is also fine. So now we'll just put it one to the other on these open adhesive ends, and then we'll roll it. So how to put it? So basically this has some thickness, right? This is something around 1.5 or 2 thickness. So if we just stick it like this without any gap, then we won't be able to roll it. So we'll have to leave some gap. So how much gap is needed for this is a slightly stretchable material. So what we need to do is we can just put it exactly exactly at right angle to this one. So you can see you can see a slight gap. This should be uniform. Just make sure that this is uniform. See here, I didn't stick it very well, so it's not uniform. It's the gap is slightly thinner here, and it's thicker on this side, so it won't form a uniform. It won't be symmetric when we roll it out, when we make the mirror tool. So I again removed it. I put it flat, and then I'll try to align it again properly. Okay, edge to edge at right angle, and then press it a little, then it will stick. And now I'll again come back on the back side, and then just stick the cover. So sometimes it gets a little clumpy, but you can just take a little bit of care and get rid of those creases. Okay, and then you can just okay. So now basically it should come to this 60 degree. We should be able to make this folded to 60 degrees. So right, now the next one also we can follow the same thing. Okay, so now we have the three mirrors stuck together, and then we can roll it off. But before that, the important step is peel off the protective covering. Sometimes it can be a little tedious to get this. So one thing you can do is you can use something like a blade and just peel it off, or you can even take a adhesive, a tape, a small tape, stick on this and then pull it, will come off. This is slightly easier, this protective covering, but this ones you will see it is very hard to remove this. So I'll use the blade for that. Okay. So now you see the reflection is very bright, right? And even the patterns scratched are looking very very well. You're able to see the red patterns, light. Now I am rolling it off, put some edge to edge and then roll it off. So one more thing we need to make sure here is these so if you see this one edge, the next mirror is going on top of the bottom mirror, right? So the next mirror should come on top of the second mirror, and the third mirror, and then this bottom mirror should come on top of the, so the edges should be like one alternating, like this is inside, this edge is inside, this edge should be outside, and this mirror, this edge is inside, so this edge should be outside. So for every mirror, one edge will be inside and the other edge will be outside. So each mirror surface will have equal area exposed, and it will be symmetric. So the amount of length that is from here, this edge to this edge, and then this edge to this edge, this edge will be equal for three of them if you put it that in that configuration. Okay, so now the mirror tube, the all important mirror tube is done. So basically this is enough for being a kaleidoscope. Now you can put anything inside it, like let's say I'll take this light. You have this light. Okay, now I put it inside, and if you see, it's a ball of light, a flower of lights. It looks very beautiful in real if you see with the eye than in this video. There are hundreds of lights now, and we are only seeing half of them because only one side of this figure we will be able to see. And if we move it, the patterns will also move. Right. We can put something like, this is a small dry palash flower petal. Okay, what will we do with this dried one? We'll just put inside this. This is a little dark, then my house is a little dark right now, so let's shine some light here. See the orange hue coming through because of the flower petal. It's beautiful. And even anything like phone screen. Okay, let's say I open something, so I have news here, but if you see through this, it's all symmetric and changing and very beautiful. So with a normal kaleidoscope we can't do this because it has something called as an object chamber here, which can't be removed, and we will have to break it and use it. And that also, this is a 3D one. It forms a sphere, or actually technically it's called a polyhedron. whereas a normal kaleidoscope is this is the prototype I made. So this is a straight edged one, so it will form an infinite plane. So this is how a normal kaleidoscope will look like. Yeah, so now next moving on to the lids. So we have this foam, we have to cut it and stick it to these acrylic pieces. So these have some protective layer on them, so we have to remove it. So I'll use the blade to remove them. These we have to take the cutter and just a little bit we have to remove. Though make sure that there are no scratchings on these mirrors while you are removing or working with. Make a little scratch with the cutter or just try to peel it off basically. Sometimes some part is left over, just scratch it off. So sometimes in the workshops some people forget to remove this and stick all the foam and everything onto this, but luckily the foam is quite durable. The adhesive is it works in such a way that we can remove it and place it back. Okay, now we have to take this is a translucent sheet. We have to stick it to the other surface. So what happens is if we don't stick to the other surface, the light coming through will, so when we see through this, the back of this, whatever the light coming through is unfiltered, and the patterns inside will not be visible clearly. But when we put the translucent sheet, it just diffuses the light. So the outside ones will not create any disturbance, and only the inside ones patterns will be able to see. So that's why we take this translucent sheet. It is also an adhesive, so take it off, put on top of this. Again we need to stick it similar to the covering, stick at one edge and then rub it off so that on all sides it sticks well without any air bubbles or anything. If there are anything stuck here, that will again create disturbance inside the kaleidoscope. So this should be clear and there are no air bubbles and everything. Then trim it off on all the edges. Generally in workshops, by this time 1.5 hours would have been finished, because people will be stuck customizing the kaleidoscopes with the patterns and the sticking those, cutting them and sticking those are also tedious, so they take time. Because I am used to this, I have kind of made it very quickly. If I'm not recording this video, I would have made it even quicker, because I'm used to this. So you can take your time, make all the patterns you want, scratch all the patterns you want, and then play with the mirror tube a little, and then maybe you can move on to this step later if you want to. Okay, now everything it's stuck nicely. If there are any air bubbles or any disturbances, you can just rub it and then it will leave it. See, this is a translucent, this is not transparent fully. If we shine some light, the light diffuses well. It has a little shine to it as well, the surface. Okay, Now uh, to this one, to make some to make to make it like this, what we have to do is, I'll remove this and show you. So it should be in this shape. Basically it will be in a wedge shape. It will be in a wedge shape. So we'll first cut out a flat one, and then uh, cut these edges so that it will become in a wedge shape. So that we need the wedge shape, so that when we stick three of them, all three of them, then they align well, edge to edge. So this is one wedge and this is the other wedge, and so basically it should be some 30 degrees, but as this is a flexible material, we don't need to uh, be so accurate. So we'll make three parts, and the thickness of this foam, we can mark it out on this using this. So we'll place it like this, on the center of it, and then we'll see how much we need to see how much thickness we want. So this much is the thickness we want. So this is approximately 5 centimeters. We don't need to be accurate again. Yeah, this is almost 1 centimeter. Let's say 8 mm. So we'll just take a small guess, and then we can cut it almost this much. And while cutting this foam, we have to just slice it in one. So we have to take a sharp blade, and then just do it in one. We should not cut it like a to and fro motion, because this offers good resistance, and it will not be smooth. The edges will not be smooth. It won't come off a smooth surface like this if you do it to and fro. So this is still stuck to this. Okay, now we need three pieces like this. Okay, we have this piece. Now see, the sticky edge is here, and this is the thick part, and then we on the top. So we need to cut it like this at 30-degree angle, but it's okay. You can just cut it at some angle and then paste it on the. So just reiterating one more time, the shape of that should be something like this, right? So you see in here this trapezium, a wedge shape, so part triangle. This shape, one side small, one side big. So people in the workshops, the participants, at least one participant gets confused here, so try just reiterating multiple times. I've been thinking to just cut this beforehand and put these contents inside the kit directly, but some people, generally DIY kits, people want to do most of the things themselves, so I've just put the whole foam there and given the instructions to cut. Okay, so we have two pieces. They're forming a good half of triangle, and then we'll cut the third part now. So this is how it forms. Now sticking also, there is a small trick to it. You can stick two of them first. This is one is done, and then the second one. Okay. Now place the kaleidoscope inside this and see how much space is left. Sometimes these are too, the thickness might be off, or we are sticking too close to the, see, I have left some space here, so this has become very small, and when we place this, there is very little space left here. So either I can remove it like this slowly from one side and then place it exactly at the edge again. Okay. Now if I place this, it looks better. Okay, now I'll stick the third one. So when I put that, I saw that it's coming out a little, so I'll just leave some gap even in these parts, so that it's okay, it doesn't matter much when we put this sheet. Now I will use it to wrap it around, so that it will cover these outer edges. It will make it look good as well, and these tend to become loose after some time like this, and they will go away. So it will also rectify that problem, and it will keep them intact. Okay, now just to test it out, I'll just put it and see if it is sticking well. So it's holding well. Yeah, now we can see how it is inside. I have this small light, I will show you. So this is a blue light I have. Beautiful. So one more thing, just the quality check of this kaleidoscope is, actually we can do this even before moving on to the lid, is when you see through this, the triangle should be perfect. Even so, this is the main triangle. The first triangle is there. That adjacent to those also should be very symmetric, and then these lines, you see these lines. I'll shine a light outside, so you can see the lines. The light is moving, right? Those are the lines. Those are because of these edges. So some triangles form. So the triangle will be something like this. The triangle will be like this, but there will be an edge running through it. Okay, so there is an edge running through it, and there is a triangle. So this triangle should be perfect, even with respect of this whole triangle being formed on, this is one mirror surface and this is another mirror surface. But in spite of this edge being, even the triangle is forming perfectly. That means the kaleidoscope assembly is perfect. That is, we have these lengths correct, and then it's uniform, and there is no bend. This mirror is very flexible, so sometimes when you are sticking it, it can bend, and it will also cause deformations. So if you don't see any of those things, then that means your kaleidoscope is perfect. Even if it is not very perfect, it still shows beautiful patterns, so no need to worry about that as well. So here, see, there is a small crumpled of the paper. So as I mentioned before, if you leave those, uh, if you don't cut the cover while trimming it off, it comes out like this. So again we need to trim it here. Okay. Now the last part for this piece, we just take the thickness of this, how much we want, and then this much. I should have got scissors. And even this doesn't need to be very accurate. Just a rectangular piece, and long rectangular piece. And then remove this. And start from center, somewhere in the center, so that when we come around, and then just push it together a little and then stick it. Okay. So this vinyl sticks to itself very well when it comes on top, so we need to make sure that some part of it is coming, covering it up when it comes back. So now this is done. So you can see some small gaps here, that is also fine, but if you want to make it even perfect, then you have to cut these wedges perfectly. So yeah, that's done. So some in the workshop, some people wanted to cover this as well, so they made a thicker one and cut it and then put it here, so that it looks even better. So this part is also done. Now moving on to the bigger part. So bigger part is even simple. We just need to cut 3 triangular pieces and place it at the edges of this triangular corners. Okay. So one trick to cut the triangles is just mark a straight line and then make triangles. That's all. Okay, and then you can cut. So basically what I'm doing is I'll mark a straight line here. Okay, and then do 4 zigzag ones. said, we have 3 triangles. These can also be, don't need to be very accurate, so we'll stick 2 of them. So first we need to check how much, at what, how much gap we have to leave. So this is almost the same size, just like 1 mm or 2 mm extra, and so this is tapering towards it, so we need to put it a little inside. So we need to, so if you see here, it's coming up to here, so we need to put somewhere like this. Okay, and if you see, this is 60 degrees, but this is not 60 degrees, so it will offer more resistance. So just put some, just turn it around and put something like this. Okay, and as I said, this adhesive is easy to work with, so if you made some mistake, you can just peel it off again. Okay, this is done. Now we'll put it and see. Make sure that it's not too tight or not too loose. So yeah, this is also holding well. But sometimes what happens, if we put these too much to the edges, it will become too tight when we put it, and that causes deformation of this tube, and the symmetry will be lost. So this is how it looks now. Okay, now these are the beads we have. Here are all the beads. We can try out these beads one by one. Let's first try out this big blue bead. So we can use any of these 2 lids to open and put, but top one would be better, because we can just put it and see how it looks, and then if we want to play with it a little more, then we can put the lid and then keep playing. So how we play with this kaleidoscope is, so let's say this mobile is your eye, so let me show you how it looks inside through the mobile. See, this looks very good. So when I rotate the kaleidoscope, the pattern changes. So here the pattern is not, now I tilt it. If I tilt it, the bead moves up and down, so I am tilting it. And the bead moves up and down, and it creates a 3D effect. So for changing the pattern, let's say we'll put something else and see. So we have all these different kinds of things. We have these triangular pieces, mosaic tiles pieces. These are thermocol balls. These move very smoothly, and these give a very good effect actually. So see, the bead came out because I put it empty. So these move very smoothly, the thermocol beads, and let's say I put this green triangle. Now if I rotate this, that moves. And then I have this green small plastic straight piece. I'll put that also. Let me, the thermocol bead is cut. Okay, so see, let me put something else, a red triangle piece, green and red. Green and blue. Green straight piece, blue bead, and then a red triangle. The triangle is standing straight, so it's not showing the purple. Yeah, now it fell down. See? So you can play with anything. Let's say I'll put these back somewhere safe. All these beads inside, go back to this pouch, and let's say I found some plastic sheet, okay, which is transparent. This is transparent, okay. So now I cut it into different shape. Let's say I cut it into a heart shape or some other shape, okay, a small odd shape, a pentagon, an irregular pentagon, and I put it inside. See? So anything, you can put anything transparent and you can play with it. And even I showed the lights, this small light, you can play with these fairy lights. These fairy lights I have, I can put them here. Even I can remove the bottom part and put some of them inside. I'll make a bigger length of this thing. Maybe this will be, these just two lights, okay, one blue, one green, okay. Now there's two lights forming so many. Right, and then the palace flower petal I showed earlier. I'll put this lid, I'll place it inside, okay, it fell inside, but the the background is little dark, so we are not able to see anything, the color of the orange color of the petal. But if we shine some light through it, then we see the orange hues. I put a torchlight. See, it became a big, huge flower, the dry petal of the palace flower. Let's say you found this broken plastic bangle. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just break it and made it into a small piece, this much, and I'll take a bigger one also, so two pieces. Now I'll put one by one inside it. The small curvature of this creates beautiful patterns as well. So I put this smaller one. Now I'll put this bigger one, See the curvature. So you can play many ways. You can even play videos on a mobile screen. Let's say I have this favorite video called Ink in Water. This one. So here the colors are flowing, and now if you see through this, the same video, it's a small video. Right? Let's say there is a viral video that is going on in Instagram where the fireworks are seen through a tin can. Fireworks. Yeah, there is the video itself shows up actually. Fireworks, soda can, ASMR. Right? They are watching the fireworks through a soda can. Okay, that looks like that is not here. You can search it and you will find it. Okay, so let's say this one we will see. This video. Okay, this is beautiful. Now let's see the same thing. Same thing through this color. So the possibilities are endless. We can keep working, we can keep tinkering with this. It's not like a regular toy that you find that you can buy for 100 rupees, 200 rupees in the market and play with it for 2 days. Even kids get bored with that in 2 days. This everyone can play. This is very imaginative, and we can keep playing different ideas, even a leaf, a flower, or just even a tissue, crumpled tissue paper. If you put inside and shine some light, it ends up being beautiful. So order the Kaleidoscope kit, assemble it yourself, and you can play with it. Or this is the product with this case. It comes with this laser cut wooden case, and this is a wooden Kaleidoscope. You can order this also on Amazon, and this also looks the same way inside. The lights also, so we can move this. Okay, so everything is laser cut wood, 4 mm thick, and it's very sturdy to hold, long lasting, and it comes in this beautiful case. A very premium product. So you can order this if you don't want to go with the hassle of assembling it yourself, getting it symmetric and all those things. So that's all. Hope you have a good time and have fun. Thank you. Bye. Follow the channel and subscribe for more upcoming videos of Kaleidoscope and more products. Thank you.